just like that, we're right back at it, ripping, ready to rally, never a day off for us. Except for that day off yesterday that we just explicitly pointed out, but other than that, keep those fires burning, we're back on track. Because while we managed to put a lot of kilometers of land, well, water, behind us last time, we have a lot more to check out today. In our previous episode, we explored Matinlock Island and its secret beach, as well as its hidden beach, and marveled at both their beauty and their ingenious naming conventions. Well, today, we're off to Minilock Island. This time, not for a beach, but for a lagoon. Specifically, the Big Lagoon, carrying on the tradition of really killing it with these names. At this point, I had a snack and a snooze on the main boat after having plunked the interns down into the kayak to do the hard work. And maybe an important thing to mention off the top here is that while the paddle in is tranquil, relaxing, and easy, depending on the time of day and year that you arrive, paddling out, against the wind and tide, might be a bit harder. So remember that there's no shame in getting out and pulling your boat and companion along the sections where it's shallow enough to do so. Anyway, once you make it into the lagoon, you'll see that it is in fact a very big lagoon, surrounded by also very big karst mountains. Real pretty ones, actually. Speaking of pretty and mountains, the pretty intern was tasked with taking photos and videos while the tubby intern was tasked with paddling and navigation. That's why, while she was taking lovely photos of the mountains and the other team members, we weren't able to get any drone shots here, so that'll be for later at the other spots. But a pretty cool thing about this big lagoon is that there's a little cave that is just big enough to paddle your kayak through. Not the most adrenaline pumping of kayak runs, but fun nevertheless, so don't miss it if you're already in the lagoon. Upon leaving the cave, we saw our first little jellyfish homie. Oh, look at that little guy, he's so cute. Anyway, it was around this point that I ordered the interns back to the main boat to continue off on our journey, because the next spot has a name you'll all love and obviously never forget or confuse with any of the others, because now we're off for the Secret Lagoon. Secret Beach and Hidden Beach last trip, Big Lagoon and Secret Lagoon so far today. There has to be a hidden lagoon out there somewhere, if not just for the sake of continuity. This actually turned out to be one of, if not my single favorite stops on the whole series of excursions, because while I've been a very courageous dog lately in developing this personal relationship that I have with the Pacific Ocean, who previously had just refused to bend to my will, this allowed me the opportunity to be a downright dramatically daring, decisively determined yet dashing dog of the sea. And while it breaks our chain of alliteration, of course we should also include independent. Though the tubby intern's big buoyant Buddha beer belly is still a bit of a crutch. Oh, alright, well come on now, at least I wasn't the only luggage on this trip. After making it across, I did a little bit of fan outreach, as these guys looked like they'd never seen such an aquatically inclined dog before. Paddle, 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 paddle. Anyway, what's cool about this place isn't just the neat peaks, beautiful beach, or azure water, it's this neat little spot in here. This is the Secret Lagoon, which I think is actually more of a grotto and not a lagoon, but after researching the difference between them, now I'm even less sure that I have any idea what I'm talking about, but whatever. A name's a name, and it's pretty rad in here. And nice to be out of the sun for a minute. And this place even comes with its own very convenient built-in ledge to dry your dog out on. But enough dilly-dallying. While it's neat in here, it's not the most comfortable place to chill, so let's pop out of this grotto, or lagoon, whatever, and head over to the beach. Because just a quick paddle, paddle, paddle around the corner and duck under some pointy rocks, we get to this. A beautiful, soft, sandy beach to play on for us young'uns. Nice benches to sit and hang out for the old folk like the chubby intern, and even this homie here hanging out selling snacks and coconuts. Rum not pictured, but definitely available. Now, the next couple of facts leave me with more questions than answers, but it's quite interesting. This lovely little strip of sand is called Jiji's Beach, and after asking around all my Filipino compadres, no one has ever met anybody named Jiji. But in Japanese, Jiji means old man, and is a common enough name to give to people or pets, such as the cat from the Studio Ghibli movie Kiki's Delivery Service. Now, why would this place have a Japanese name that no one knows the history of? Well, if we look south from the beach, we see Shimizu Island, and Shimizu is Japanese for clear water. And yeah, that water is definitely clear, so that tracks. The most interesting part of these random Japanese names is that there's no clear consensus on who gave the names or when. Likely during World War II by Japanese invaders, but nobody actually knows, which I think is a pretty neat little mystery. With that last little tidbit out of the way, those are the Big Lagoon and the Secret Lagoon, so lick that like button, pause, subscribe, and join us next time as we head off to swim with the jellies and bask in the sun at Seven Commandos Beach, which gets the strange name from one of the most amazing stories we've had the chance to tell on this channel to date. So, till next time, peace out mga hiwasabalay!